Okay, everybody. So in this video, we're going to take a look at another example of factoring. I'm looking at an expression here that's got four terms in it, 4x cubed plus x squared minus 16x minus 4. And when I see four terms there, I'm assuming that this is going to be factoring by grouping. So I'm going to group together the first two terms. Okay, then I'm going to group together the last two terms, and I'm going to make sure that that negative in front of the 16 stays with the 16. In fact, every time I do that, I want to make sure I push that sign over, and I'm always going to plug a positive sign or an addition in between the two sets of parentheses here until I get comfortable with the algebra here, and I'm comfortable enough to skip a step or two here. I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to make sure that I pull that negative over and put a plus sign in between. Now, what is common to the terms in that first set of parentheses? Well, x squared. And when I pull that out, I'm left with 4x plus 1. Now, remember, I want my work, when I factor out something out of that second set of parentheses, I want it to look like this. So when I take a look at that second set of parentheses, I notice there's a negative in both those terms. So I'm going to factor out a negative. And then between 16 and 4, there's a common factor of 4. And that's going to leave me with 4x plus 1, which is awesome because that tells me then, or I can see right now, that there's a common binomial factor of 4x plus 1. So I'm going to take that out, 4x plus 1. It was multiplied, undo that. It was multiplied by x squared here. So put an x squared here, and then in that second term, it was multiplied by that negative 4. Good. Now, a question like this has got another bit of factoring nested in it. And so you always want to be looking for that extra bit of factoring at the end here. And what I'm seeing here is that when I took out that common 4x minus 1, I was left with this x squared minus 4, and that is a difference of squares. You want to be looking for that. And so remember that to factor a difference of squares, you take the square root of both terms, square root of both terms, and then it's going to be subtraction in one, addition in the other. We call those binomial conjugates. And there you go. Now I've got that expression fully factored.